Is Western advertising shaping the creative development of advertising in the Middle East?
I think there's always some sort of inspiration, or some. It's just like fashion. It's like a trend. So you do get influenced by what you see overseas. You know, whether it be production techniques, whether it be style of laying out ads. So there is always a spill on, and I can never say that we don't get involved with Europe, but as well as brand and global brands, you always have to get involved with Europe. So your clients like British American Tobacco or GlaxoSmithKline, you need to be aligned globally. So yeah, it's a two-way thing.
In the Middle East, yes, definitely, because it's the standard, it's the benchmark, it's where all the great things are happening. Say, I mean, when you say the West, I think, yeah, we'd be influenced by the East as well. In terms of the digital stuff, I think the East does amazing stuff there. So it's just being influenced outside of the region, because the region itself is behind.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent. You know, it has a huge influence here. There's a lot of Western expats working here. You know, so that to a certain degree will influence that sort of work. But it doesn't mean that we're not developing our own sort of taste per se. You know, we've done ads in the past that have been very locally relevant. A lot of agencies have done that. You know, and it's what brought us, it was part of what brought us here in the first place. You know, it's a place where we could develop our own sort of culture, and you know, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's slowly happening.
It currently is. I don't think it should, but that seems to be the case now.
No. Western advertising is Western advertising. Okay. It's true that you have universal insight. We all scratch our nose the same way. Okay. It's the way you put it on screen that makes the whole difference. Yeah. And I don't think it has nationality or something. It's the way you see it. You cannot label creativity. You might be able to label an execution. You have the Central Eastern style that is gloomy. You have the funny style that's coming from Latin America, but there is no, you know, like, oh, this is advertising for the Middle East. If I go back to the ghost ads that were circulating last year, you take out Doha or you take out Dubai, it can be signed Saatchi London or it can be signed any, and this is why it won all over the place.
Yeah, definitely. I think it definitely is. You know, you're surprised now and again by one or two local pieces with local flavour, but I think it's a problem. You know, the majority of the stuff is kind of is westernised.
Hopefully not anymore. I don't think it happens anymore. Until maybe 10 years ago, that was certainly the case. But now, what is Eastern and what is Western advertising is difficult to say. You know, you have fabulous ads from Bangkok, let's say. You know, and they're a great example how a country can find a voice sound, you know, and do really fantastic advertising. Or Brazil, you know, is Brazil Western advertising or not? It's definitely a force in advertising.
Yes, it is. It would be completely off to say no, it isn't. And it's actually not a bad thing, because with Western advertising I would connect things such as the intelligent usage of digital, the ways to do integrated communication. There is a reason. I mean, you just need to look at creative advertising, who is producing the best work in the world. And whilst Asia has picked up, still the really benchmark cases will be from the Western markets. the markets that invented consumerism, so that it's something I think there shouldn't be a debate about is that right or wrong, and sometimes I feel that's the debate. To me it doesn't make any sense. Yes, that's where a lot of the inspiring work is from. It's just about us adapting it more quickly than, and that's actually a good thing of our times. We can adopt stuff so much more quickly than this used to be 10 years ago maybe.
Yes, definitely. Again, as I said earlier about, you know, you either follow you or you lead, and I think, you know, the UAE or the Middle East has never been known as a driving force. I didn't see that in every award show. If you look at the number of awards that are won outside the UAE, that are really shaping new ways of communicating, shaping new ideas, we pick that up, our clients pick that up and say, let's do this. You know, we do what's been done before in a more UAE and Middle Eastern way, but if you look at the other countries in different markets, they really break in creative boundaries.
100%, why shouldn't it? I mean, it's just bollocks if anybody says different. Because what's Google doing next? Are we not going to embrace that? Of course we are. So when you say West, I mean, what is the West? The West is a place where good ideas win. So what's the problem? I don't see any problem. So, I mean, the things we're doing online, now we didn't drive that, it's still at its birthing kind of stage over here. We're not doing a lot of online stuff. In the West, that's about 50% of the media spend is going there. So I don't see that as a problem. It's like a cultural thing. We are Arabs here, the market is Arab, and we should. But Arabs eat KFC and they drive BMWs, and what's the problem? They use Microsoft Windows 7. You know, it's just, we're kind of nitpicking here. If good ideas start coming from China, we'll use those so we can call them the Eastern ideas.